Welcome to my Lego room. For the 1 year anniversary of the channel, I thought I would give you guys, 1 year, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Thank you guys, by the way, so much for the support with the channel. It's amazing. We just hit 2,500 subscribers to the day, so pretty awesome. But for the 1 year anniversary of the channel, I thought why not give you guys a tour of the room and kind of some of the stuff you don't see when I'm making reviews and stuff that's out of shot and kind of the entire room, so to speak. And the room itself, it's not so much as a Lego room as it is two walls of the room. As the channel grows and, it gets maybe bigger and stuff like that, I'll take up more of the room and kind of turn it into a true Lego room. But for now, it is kind of just these two walls. I have some other Lego sets throughout my house that I display here and there, like by my Xbox, I have BD1, for example, and some other sets. But for today's video, we're just gonna focus on this room. So the main display is these bookcases, the IKEA Billy bookcases that I have. They work really great for displaying the Lego. They're wide enough that most sets can actually fit inside of them. Plus the glass doors as well keeps out like 95% of the dust. You can see there are gaps down the middle and at the top of the doors too, there are some gaps. I need to weather strip them to keep out 100% of the dust, but a lot of time I'll just pull the sets out, I'll wipe everything down, and it works and keeps up most of the dust. So it does the job more than fine enough to keep just the sets in the condition that I want them to be in, because I unseal all my sets, as you guys see in my reviews. I don't buy any sets used. I go through the whole experience, so I want to keep them dust-free and keep them, as pristine as I can throughout their lifetime. So one thing you guys have also been asking me a lot in the comments is what strip lights do I actually use to light all of these bookcases? As you guys can see here, I just have strip lights that run along the inside of the door. They go up towards the ceiling and then back down. They're just the basic Amazon ones. If you go on Amazon and type in LED strip lights, you'll find 100 different ones that are just like this. I wanted to get these as a proof of concept. It wasn't intended on being a long-term sort of thing, but they actually look really good. So I just have left them and I haven't gone around to upgrading them yet. I'd love to get ones where you have like the app on your phone, you can change the colors, adjust the brightness and everything. But for now, these are working more than fine enough. It's something I'll do at a later point. As far as the cable system goes, I had this whole grand idea of running all the cables in behind and having just a nice hidden switch that you can turn on and off. But like with most things haven't gone according to plan. And the system is just this mess that you see on the floor. And it's nice and out of shot in my reviews, but the reality is that's what it looks like right now. You just have the strip bar, you turn it on and off. Nice. So, it's a really fancy system, right? It's very refined, it's really well organized now. That's just the reality of the way it looks right now. Maybe I'll actually attach everything on the bottom with some zip ties or something just to clean it up a little bit, but for right now, it's not very high on the priority list of the way the lighting system actually works. So on the far wall of the room, I have the only kind of piece of art thing I have hanging on the wall that's Lego relevant, and it's the 2013 minifigure gallery. This came in the 2013 Jabba Sail Barge set. I put it behind glass just to keep it in pristine condition because the set was brand new. I unsealed it, and the poster being in it was a nice surprise, so I just want to keep it in good condition. If I get another bookcase or something like that eventually, it'll probably go away, but for now, it just kind of looks cool to actually see all those different minifigs that came out in 2013. On the top of the bookcases, I have some of my UCS collection because they just don't fit in these bookcases, obviously. We have the UCS X-Wing. Right next to it, we have the TIE Interceptor. Those two look really great side by side. And then we have one of my favorite Lego sets ever, the UCS Razor Crest. I absolutely loved building that. It was so much fun, and it's such a good looking display set as well. The nice thing about the setup with the Billy bookcases that I've done for this room is that this one here isn't right up against the wall. It's actually out a little bit and at an angle. So it kind of serves a dual purpose, and it creates more of a space for me to actually make my reviews. When you see me sitting right here, the table would be here normally, and I talk about it. It gives more of an open space for me to have a backdrop that doesn't feel too tight and closed in. But also, I could actually fit the Razor Crest up there because if the case was up against the wall, the engine wouldn't allow it to actually be on there. But this way you have that space in the back where it can actually sit up on the top. So that ended up working out really nicely just to display that one kind of front and center up on the top. Then we have the Ultimate Collector Series Jabba Sail Barge, a really great set as well. That was kind of a fun time for the channel where a lot of you guys actually discovered my YouTube channel when I reviewed the original sail barge, the 2013 sail barge, and this one did the comparison. Just was kind of a special time for my YouTube channel, so that will always be a special set to me because of it. Beside it, up top here, we have the Sarlacc Pit and Desert Skiff set from 2024 also, just goes nicely beside them there. And then lastly, we have the 25th anniversary Imperial Star Destroyer, just another bigger set that for now at least I've put up there because I didn't really have anywhere else to put it. All right, now we're gonna go through each bookcase one by one. I'm not gonna show you guys every set or talk about every set, but I'll go through kind of the theme of the shelf, each row, and kind of some of the highlights of my displayed collection for this room at least. All right, opening up the first bookcase. This started off as a Phantom Menace Episode 1 display with the 25th anniversary, but as I've gotten more sets and reviewed them, it's slowly been evolving and it's kind of constantly changing. Even in the background of my videos, you'll see sets get moved from time to time, constantly rotates, keep things a little bit more interesting that way as well. On the top shelf here, kind of the main highlight here is my UCS N1 Naboo Starfighter. This is actually a set from my childhood. I had to get replacement stickers for it, and they're not that great, so I'm still looking for better ones that are out there. But that's one set from my childhood that I just absolutely love and probably not going to replace in all honesty because it's like $3,500 new, $4,000 sealed Canadian. I'm Canadian, right? So a little too much money for me to spend when I already have that set from my childhood. This second shelf here is my vintage Episode 1 display. We have the Jedi Defense 1 sealed here because that was my very first Lego Star Wars set ever. I got that as a gift from my uncle and cousin. I was kind of sick when I was younger. I was in and out of the children's hospital just a little bit. So when I was going to one of my doctor's appointments, my uncle and cousin dropped that off on my way. And that kind of started my love for Lego. And I was a fan of Star Wars already at the time. So very special set to my heart and everything. So having a sealed, kind of mint sealed copy of it, just something that, you know, I always see that and it makes me smile. But the rest of them are just kind of those vintage Episode 1 sets on this shelf here. Then we have the kind of more modern Trade Federation Episode 1 sets there, like the MTT, which is just absolutely awesome. So that's just a cool kind of Trade Federation, more modern day display. Shelf underneath it there, again, more Episode 1 sets. We have the actual Duel on Naboo set, the new Pod Racer diorama, and then the May 4th promo Trade Federation Droid Troop Carrier set there. Just again, kind of keeping with the theme of Episode 1. Then, going down a little bit more, we have this next shelf here. This one's been changing up a little bit. We have one of the Sith Infiltrator sets, the original AT-RT set with the Scout Walker and the little clone trooper there too. A really great set, which will be reviewed on the channel in the coming weeks. And then we have the brand new Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor set just to go along with that. I didn't really know where else to put it, but I wanted to display that set too. Then, on the very bottom shelf, we have the original Jabba's sail barge. I'm still missing that front pipe piece. I never ended up actually ordering it. It's something I gotta do at one point here, sooner or later, but that's where that kind of lives, along with the 25th anniversary minifigs, just kind of hidden in behind there because, again, I didn't really know where to put them, but I wanted to keep them dust-free. Display cabinet number 2. This one is the one that you guys mainly see in my reviews. We have up here, this is kind of what I call my rare shelf, or what's trying to be a bit of a rarer shelf here. We have my Darth Revan minifig, the Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from the actual Jabba's sail barge promotional set, a sealed copy of the Trade Federation Troop Carrier from May 4th of last year, my Death Star 2 promo set, which I actually want to build and review, maybe close to that $1,000 UCS Death Star that's coming out at the beginning. I know, right? They're making a $1,000 Death Star. It's wild. It's wild. But I'll be reviewing it on the channel, so make sure you subscribe because that review will be coming out in summer of 2025. But I'll probably unseal that and review that around the time too, just kind of, you know, another Death Star set. My bust of Darth Vader, and then the minifigs from the 7163 Republic gunship because, as you're going to see a little later on, that build doesn't fit in these display cases, but I wanted to put the minifigs behind glass at least and keep them protected. So that's where they currently live. Maybe eventually I'll get like a nice display case for that gunship, but I'll discuss that more when we actually get to it. This kind of big middle shelf here is the main display in behind me when I make my reviews. The Bilbo General Grievous, I think is my favorite Lego Star Wars set ever. I absolutely love how cool that looks in behind my reviews, and I think I've turned a lot of you guys into fans of this set too, because I feel like it was an underappreciated set, especially nowadays, but I just think it looks so cool in behind there. And then we have the Jango Fett Slave one as well. Very on brand for 2025, getting a lot of Jango Fett sets coming out this year, so kind of seemed fitting to review and have that set kind of front and center in behind me. The next shelf here, we just have some Clone Wars inspired sets, Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter and the Malevolence. The actual Malevolence arc in the Clone Wars is one of my favorite Clone Wars arcs, so kind of a little display there for those sets I really wanted to have, I thought would look cool. Underneath it, we have the actual pod racers, and this set I just love. I mean, look at them.
That orange one is sick.
Yeah, Sebulba's pod racer, it's so cool.
That's sweet.
This is another really great display and another set that actually I feel like is really underappreciated in the community. They look amazing on display there. I'd love to actually put them more where you could see them in the videos, but for right now, this is where they live. On the bottom here, I just have some of the Ahsoka sets. I kind of did a little display of the actual duel on Peridia with some of the other minifigs as well, just to kind of fill it up a little bit more. But that's the second display case. Display cabinet number 3. Slowly become one of my favorite individual cabinets, honestly, because of the UCS AT-AT. It looks so great on display. And one of the best parts about these IKEA Billy bookcases is that they are just wide enough that you actually could fit the AT-AT in there. So having this thing behind glass, keeping it mostly dust-free, is honestly huge for me. I have it where you have the snowtroopers kind of in there, the one hatch is open. I didn't want to display it fully in the cross-section form, but just a bit of the interior is on display there. Of course, you have Luke Skywalker hanging underneath, like you just have to with this set there. The Viper Probe droid beside it, just keeping kind of the Empire Strikes Back theme for this shelf. Above it, we have some Rebel sets, like we got the original Grand Admiral Thrawn, Blind Kanan, that Rebels Ahsoka, some absolutely incredible minifigs and sets up there. Just trying to keep within the Imperial theme, that kind of era on the top 2 shelves at least. Moving on to the ones kind of getting closer to the floor, we have another Clone Wars shelf here, Anakin's Y-Wing, the Magna Guard Starfighter, 2 other really great sets. And then underneath it, we have the C-3PO and R2-D2 along with the Ghost and Phantom 2. I just didn't know where to put C-3PO and R2 when I was reorganizing things last, and this is kind of where they've wound up for right now. The bottom shelf is a little bit of a mess. You see quite a few sets in there. I just am kind of trying to keep things, dust-free as best as possible right now, so that's kind of what that looks like down there, but, works out fine for just now.
Last question. How much does... what does that weigh again? What do you think?
I don't know how much it weighs. It probably weighs I could say like 10 pounds, but I feel like that's totally off. Lego recommends you actually pick it up with one hand, and it actually feels kind of heavy. It's like doing, a pretty heavy bicep curl, but, it's heavy.
Huge, man.
Display cabinet number 4. This one is a little bit of a mess on the top shelf. I originally had the Jedi Interceptor with Hyperdrive Booster Ring for the main display, but then I replaced it with Jango Fett Slave 1, and I was debating where to put it because it's a little bit taller, and then it wound up being placed in here, and I haven't changed it or found a better home for it. This video is real. This is the current display of it, and if it becomes a yearly thing, kind of for every anniversary of the channel, it'll be fun to look back on the room as it grows, hopefully too, and changes a bit. It'll be fun to kind of look at the different states of it, just year to year, so to speak. So we have some really awesome sets up there, like the Captain Rex helmet. You have the Captain Rex with Y-Wing as well. Of course, that Hyperdrive Booster Ring looks great. Not so much up there. I gotta find a better home for it, that's for sure. The second shelf, I absolutely love. Few really nice underrated sets like the Bounty Hunter Assault Gunship, really awesome set, some incredible minifigs. The Sith Night Speeder as well with like Savage Opress, really cool sets up there. That's probably as busy as I'd want a shelf to be with all the minifigs, but I think it still looks pretty good without being too overwhelming. Now this middle shelf here, one of my favorites in my entire collection, the original Technic sets. That's kind of the era of Lego Star Wars that I slowly grew up into, so I have a lot of nostalgia for these sets. I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, but I mean like the Technic Droideka, the B2 Battle Droid, the Super Battle Droid Technic one as well in that sand kind of blue color scheme. Looks amazing. And then the Technic Hailfire Droid 2, a very special set for the channel as well, because that's when I kind of changed everything up, did the face reveal and everything, and kind of started this new era of my reviews and new style, which I really love in comparison to my older reviews as well. So had to keep all of these together. They look awesome on display. Right now, if we go a little lower here for the fourth cabinet, these are the Jedi Starfighter sets I have on display. I have 4 of them there. Kind of thought it'd be cool to keep 4 Jedi Starfighters all together. Some of my favorites throughout the years. The Jedi Bobs being, of course, the newest addition to that lineup. Underneath here, we have some of these Starship Collection sets also. Again, they're really nice sets. I didn't know how to display them, but they kind of are back down in there, you know, until I maybe remove them. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Tantive 4. It's just, I feel like it's a little boring, to be honest. So that one's probably going to go, as I need room for other things. But for right now, that's kind of the 25th anniversary Starship Collection lineup. Then the 2013 Jabba Sail Barge on the bottom there. Again, that whole time with the UCS Jabba Sail Barge coming out, me reviewing all of them and comparing them, a very special time on the channel. So it's nice to have that one on display. But I have too many Jabba Sail Barges on display. One of them's probably going to need to go to keep room for other things instead of just having 3 between the UCS one, the original, and this one. I'll have to change things up, but for now, that's what I have down there. Now, one other spot in the room that you guys will never see, in all honesty, is this IKEA display case. I forget the actual name of it, but it's one of the original cabinets that I got to display sets. The square kind of shaping of it makes it a little difficult to display certain things, but for now, it works pretty good. Up top, I have my 7163 Republic gunship, one of the most valuable sets in my collection that is not behind glass or anything, and it pains me to have this thing sitting up here and gathering dust. So probably every 2 weeks, probably every 2 weeks, I actually take it off, dust it, because this is one that I don't want to get ruined on me or get so caked full of dust that the set is shot, more or less. I need to get glass for it. If you guys know of any actual display cabinets, or display cases, like individual size ones, that will fit this and work good, let me know in the comments, because this is something I can't have going on much longer. And in case you're wondering, no, it does not fit inside this. That's why it's on top. Inside of this display cabinet, though, we have, okay, I'm going to try and open it up. They might fall over. One take to get it so that the droids don't fall over. I have one of the N1 Naboo Starfighter sets. Yeah, really awesome. It's just kind of there with all the individual pieces. This is kind of just, miscellaneous and extra Lego storage, if I'm being honest. I have one of the ATTs down there, the brand new one based on episode 3. Really great build. The minifig's not so great, so that's why I just have the build on display. Second shelf from the bottom, we have my BrickHeads that I currently have. I don't own a lot. I'm not the hugest BrickHeads fan, but that's just kind of what I got going. The Technic C-3PO, and then the Mandalorian Starfighter on the very bottom with a bit of a scratched up bottom from when I was using it for something else. This will go eventually, but just for right now, it's just some extra storage, and it lets in a lot more dust than you think actually too, so I personally wouldn't really recommend one of these for displaying Lego unless you're really going to weather strip it or something, but there's a lot of gaps. It's not the best. If there's one thing you guys don't know about me, it's that I have one of these Starbucks cold brews basically every day. Besides Lego, it's one of the guilty pleasures in my life. But that concludes the room tour for today. Like I said, it's just amazing to have hit 1 year on the channel, 2,500 subscribers, basically to the day as well. So just thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you guys enjoyed just getting a bit of a tour of the room and some of the things you don't see in my reviews. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments down below, and I'm doing lots of LEGO Star Wars 2025 set reviews. I have a few more videos to make this week, so lots of those videos will be coming out on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed already and you enjoy my content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's just the best way to support the videos that I make. Again, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this LEGO room tour, and until the next video, you guys, take care. I'll see you on the next one.